Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boosting the Boosters series, where we're building better booster culture together. So, in episode 1, we named the problem, which is burnout and frustration, and just a lack of participation. In episode 2, we talked about the power of the invitation so that we can get people to come in and work with us, not against us. And now, building on that, we're going into episode 3, where we are going to be looking at building a lasting booster culture. So once you've done all that hard work, getting those people to join, getting those people to participate, how do you make them stick around long term? I'm not talking about just for a game or for the season. I'm talking about so that they come back the next year and the year after that. And dare I say, even after their kids go, because I have seen stories about that in some of these groups where you find a parent that's been there 8 or 9 years. They just never left. That's the stability you want. That's the kind of seniority that's going to make things really happen for you. So we're going to talk about some of those things. We're going to go bigger with this one. How do you build a booster culture that doesn't just survive this year, but thrives for years to come, just like we mentioned? And hey, before we really dive in, do me a quick favor. If this series has been helping you, maybe hitting home, maybe uncovering some pain points for you, hit the follow button on your podcast app right now. That way you won't miss the rest of the conversations coming up. Because even though I had outlined this to be a 3-episode series, honestly, I have more that has come up in the last 24 hours that I am currently outlining now. So this is going to go more than just the 3-episode mini-series on boosters. This may be a lasting theme for us because it's that important. And don't worry, all the other content's going to continue to keep coming out. We're not losing focus on that. We're just kind of putting our focus right now on what really matters in this scenario. And that's you guys, the parents. So one of the most important things a booster group can do is building traditions. And we're all fine arts people here. Maybe you weren't in fine arts, but you are now. And one thing a lot of us fine arts kids like, or pretend to like, are musicals. The old school traditional musicals from when we were younger. And now we got all new ones, and it's fine. It's one of the best expressions of fine arts that I have found personally. And there's one. It's an old one, an oldie but a goodie, called Fiddler on the Roof. And there's a song in there that's called Traditions. And I can't help it, and I'm hoping some of my people are here, but every time you hear anyone say the word traditions, it's the first thing that comes to mind, is that piece from that musical. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing it. I want to, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to spare you with that. I've got a bit of a cold, so I sound funny anyway. But there's a reason that I sit behind a soundboard now. There's a reason that I was a drummer. There's a reason I was an instrumentalist. I can't sing. And I'm not going to pretend that I know how. So moving on. So let's think about it. Football has Friday night lights. Choir has concerts. Theater has opening nights. The arts thrive on traditions. So why not boosters? Maybe it's an end of the season thank you dinner. Maybe it's the first game tailgate. Maybe it's recognizing parent volunteers on senior night. These are all traditions that you can employ inside of your booster culture that are going to make it sticky. They're going to make people want to stay. And let me tell you something. If you're in the Midwest, and because of the joys of platforms that we work with, they'll give you some information. And I know that the majority of my audience is from the Midwest. Actually, the majority of this audience is from Kansas. Imagine that. That's where I live. So the majority of our audience is here in Kansas, in the Midwest. And what's one thing that we do better here in Kansas, better than anyone else? That's a tailgate, my friends. Gathering in the parking lot, cooking out, celebrating, having fun before a game starts or after, or in some cases, we never even make it to the game. We never make it out of the tailgate. So why not have a first game tailgate for your boosters? That would be so much fun. I'm going to propose that to the high schools that I'm working with right now. And it's certainly going to be a thing once my oldest kid makes it into high school. There's going to be tailgates, I promise you. And that's just a great bonding moment for everybody. It's a great way to start a tradition that's fun. Fun is the operative word here, guys. Fun. People aren't going to spend time outside of work, outside of the house, doing stuff that's not fun. I mean, dads, how many of you guys, and I know there's a few, but the majority, how many of you actually enjoy mowing your lawn? I don't. I do it because I have to. I do it begrudgingly. It'd be so much better if it was fun. I like doing things that are fun. Same things here. Let's find traditions that are fun, that make this whole idea of volunteering, giving up hours of your free time, let's make it fun. Traditions, they're like glue. They make service fun. They create memories that parents want to repeat. And here's the kicker. When culture feels fun, parents tell their friends. In fact, go ahead and text this episode to another parent right now. Spark that conversation about what traditions you could start in your group this season. That might make it a little more fun. So if you want a booster club to last, stop putting everything on the same 5 people. Stop putting it on your officers. I mean, they're going to do it. They always will. Of course they will, because it has to get done. But that's the fastest way to burn out and to kill your group. Instead, move from jobs to teams. Don't just say we need a concessions chair. Say we need a concessions team. If it's 2 people, it spreads the load. If it's 3, it's even easier. People love being parts of teams. Now, granted, I know I'm one of those people that thrives on working alone. That's why I do this. But teams are fun. Teams get more work done. Teams are more palatable to join than, hey, we need someone to do this job. No, come join our team. That fosters belonging. That fosters value. Help spread the load. And I would like to hear how you guys divide roles in your group. Do you use teams or committees? Or are you guys all still stuck with the same 5 people trap? Shoot me a message or comment on the post where you found this episode. Your story might help another parent. And that's what we're doing here. We're helping one another. Now, here's the piece too many boosters ignore. Succession planning. If you're the treasurer, secretary, or president right now, you should already be looking for a replacement. Not because you're bailing, but because leadership should never be a mystery baton pass at the end of the year. Mentorship matters. I mean, that's the core of what we do here at Soundstage EDU is we mentor students. We mentor the next generation of leaders. And that's what you guys need to do within your booster organizations. You need to mentor the next round of leaders. Bring in a shadow. Invite someone to help with one fundraiser. Then when your term ends, guess what? They're ready. I don't know why, but there's this quote, maybe it's from a movie. Maybe it was Starship Troopers. I don't know. I believe it was. Just a bad sci-fi movie that was adapted from an old sci-fi book from the 50s. I like that. That's a little tidbit about me. I love terribly made movies. I like B-rated movies. They bring me joy to see so much effort put into something that was written so poorly. It's just fun. But there's repeatedly this theme through this movie of where a soldier is promoted in the field. Like, hey, Rico, I need a sergeant. You interested? Like, yes, sir. Until I die or till you find someone better. I'm not saying that for you guys, but what I'm saying is it's that concept is there. Train your replacement. Find them early and train them early. Get them ready early. Maybe even build up. Say, hey, this is what I'm training you for. Or maybe you're training several people and just, one of them will step up. Either way. Plan succession. And I mean, if this is sparking ideas for you, make sure you're subscribed, because in future episodes, we're going to dig deep into volunteer pipelines and how to recruit, train, and hand off without the panic. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you're plugged in, all right? Now, at the end of the day, remember this. Boosters aren't just filling shifts. You're building a legacy with them. Every hot dog grilled, every prop that gets pushed, every AV cart that gets dragged out onto the field, every uniform fitted, it all adds up to students thriving in the arts. That's why we're here. This is way more than just busy work. It's culture. It's community. It's impact. It's shaping these young minds for a career. And if you're nodding right along, I want you to do something bold. Share this episode in your booster Facebook group or with your booster parents. Sometimes it just takes an outside voice to spark change. I mean, maybe you've been saying this exact same stuff to people and nobody's listening, but you know what? The minute you give it third-party validation that someone else is saying this, someone that you don't even know, suddenly people start listening. And it's not because I'm saying it better. It's not because my sick, sore throat voice sounds better. It's just it's the same perspective coming from a different voice. And for whatever reason, that carries weight with some people. So share it. It might help. It might not. I'm not going to be bold and say, I can fix your problems. I would love to be able to say that, but let's be real. What's going to fix your problems is you guys. Taking one little tidbit from this brief 15, 20-minute episode and applying it to your process and affecting real, lasting change. So here's my encouragement. Keep building. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't get frustrated and say, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this anymore. I have no friends left. The NFL, no friends left. I can't do it. Keep building. Don't stop. Create traditions. Share ownership. Mentor the next leaders. Have fun. And never lose sight of the impact you're making on these kids' lives. It's immeasurable. It's not like I'm going to sit here and tell you that, look at me, I'm a great person because of the arts. No, what I'm saying is look at the possibilities. I'm not saying I'm anyone great. I'm just a dad who has some ideas. That's it. I'm just a dad with some ideas. I'm just a guy with a heart for the arts that wants to do everything I can to give back to this activity, not just marching band, but theater, the arts in general. I want to give back to the art form that shaped me into the person I am, the person in my house, the person in my family. the person at my job, the guy who's mentoring high school students in the sound booth in the theater, the guy who's training new technicians in my production job. That's what this does. It helps us build ourselves into who we can become, who we were meant to become. So never lose sight of the impact you're making on these kids' lives. They could be a world changer one day. And I have faith in you. I have confidence in you. You've got this. You can do this. You're not alone. You're going to make a difference. You are making a difference. Either in a kid's life, an adult's life, your director's life. You're helping ease the load. So before you go, 2 quick things. Follow this podcast so you don't miss what's next. Really driving that home, guys. Don't want you to miss what's next. Share this episode with one parent leader in your program who needs encouragement today. And if you want your story featured in a future episode, drop me a comment or message me. I'd love to hear what's working in your program. You know, real life stories. And together we can build a booster culture that lasts. We can build one another up. We can build programs our children are proud to be part of. We can build programs the directors just absolutely love and remember for the rest of their careers. So let's do this together, guys. And remember, let's raise the bar together.